Hey everybody, welcome back to the Python Study with Me series. This is another episode. So, I'm the Broke founder, and nowadays I'm learning Python, machine learning, DSA because this is my real project, and this project is all about audio listening type platform. Okay, so it's a real project, but I'm not teaching you how to create project, but I'm showing you how I learn faster and then how I create this type of project. Okay, so nowadays AI is out there. So my learning method nowadays, I'm not watching any I'm not reading any books. So instead of reading books, what I do is very simple. I watch any videos. Let's say for example, now I'm learning Python and particularly object oriented programming. So I watch this video. So from code with JAWS. So let's say this video duration is 7 hours. So I already watch 44 minutes, and what I do, just I simply copy all the transcript and then I paste it any AI tools. For example, for this video I'm using ChatGPT and Gemini. So I paste and then I read out what that tutor is saying. Okay, so I can replicate his word, and then after reading it out, I will paste into another tab, maybe ChatGPT or Gemini or DeepSeek, and I play with their word and I can understand the concept. Even I can ask, hey, what is object oriented programming, what is class, what is method. But before doing so, I can, if I if I read it, so I can understand, I can grab it what tutor is saying. So I can watch the video, I can understand the visual, but when it comes to reading it and after doing it, man, not only you can understand, but you also be a fluent. You also be fluent explaining what you learn. So it helps you to prepare for interview or maybe a technical question, and yeah, so your brain can capture all the technical term, and then when it comes to practical things, you remember all the things. So it helps you to remember all the concept for a long time. So that's why I'm just not doing it. So maybe you're not liking my approach, it's totally fine. What you like, just do for it, question it. Okay, so I'm learning this way, and yeah, so that is my perspective to show you. If you don't like to watch entire video, it's totally fine, because I'm showing you and I'm just reading it. Okay, and while I'm recording it, so it's totally fine. If you don't like this video, it's totally fine, but I just emphasize you, I recommend you can do this way, it's gonna help you. So okay, now as I told you, I just select almost 10 minutes, and then I paste here on ChatGPT. Let's say 10-minute segment, and then also a Gemini. So that segment is coding philosophy and encouragement. Okay, Gemini is title this, and what about? So let's read out. So working with object in Python will strengthen your understanding of what an object is and how we use it. To demonstrate how to work with object, I'm introducing a special Python module called Turtle. Turtle is a module in Python that allows us to draw and create art. Okay. Next paragraph is, now you might be thinking, Josh, I sign up for a course on object-oriented programming. Why are we doing this module? While it may seem like a tool for kids, Turtle is actually a hidden gem for learning. Over the years, I have been how Turtle helps students understanding the fundamental of object. That's why it's part of this course. It gives you a solid grasp of how objects work and how we use them in code. For example, in a picture, we might have 9 turtle objects. Each turtle has its own property, like color or speed, and can perform its own set of action or methods. So let's break it down. Let's break it down to key terms: methods and properties. Well, what is the method? A method is just a function, but it's a function inside a class. Okay, all right. Then what is next? Well, What is property? Well, in object-oriented programming, so property is a variable, but again, it's basically a variable inside a class. Okay, so think of how you define variables and functions. Properties and methods work the same, but they belong to a class. For example, if you have a turtle object called owl, you might set its color property to maroon. A parrot object might have a speed property set to 5, and a canary object might have a width property set to 2. Okay, but these properties must be linked to an object. Okay, owl.color, parrot.speed, and canary.width. So same for methods. You might have methods like forward or left, but they must be tied to an object like owl.forward. Then you passed a argument, let's say 100. In previous lesson, I showed you a class called bird, and from that class we had object like owl, hummingbird, canary and parrot. These are the kind of object we connect with properties and method. Now let's look at how we set up our code. So yeah, actually in this video I'm not gonna paste all the code into my VS or any editor. Just this video is all about reading it. So yeah, you can see this is the Python code, and this is the Python code, this is the Python code. Like a T1 is equal to turtlet. Yeah, here we passed empty, and then T1 dot color. We are going we pass as argument orange, purple, and the link method 190, and then final function we will need is done. Okay, this ensures that the drawing window stays open. Properties method. So now let's walk through example. Let's go to Gemini. What Gemini says. Okay, let's go to Gemini. Okay, so coding reminder. There are so many ways to solve one specific problem. Anyway, you are able to do it. Well done, amazing. You should not have to do it the way I do it, and if you do it like I do, great. If you find a different way, that's you being creative, that's you fine. Alright, so if you had a chance to read through the tasks of this challenge before watching the video, I highly encourage you to try this challenge on your own. Go back to the slide of the this lesson and read the documents for Turtle. Okay, challenge 1, I'm gonna jump into with our first challenge. In the first exercise, I ask you to create a hexagon with six sides, each side with a different color. Okay, there are many ways to do this. I'm gonna try and do this a more efficient way, and there is a longer way. There are other ways. Choose your path. So first thing we want to do, we want to import. Remember, all the imports are at the top of our code. So from Turtle, I would like to import everything. Okay, that's what the star means. From the Turtle module, import absolutely everything. Okay, I'm then gonna make an object. Okay, so for the purpose of this, let's pretend you are drawing on a piece of paper, and I'll say pencil. What is pencil? Well, an object is always equal to class. So my class is Turtle. Great, I have made an object. Okay, now I know that each side of this hexagon needs to be different. So you could do this a few ways. I'm gonna make a list. Okay, how many sides are in a hexagon? Well, there are just 6. If you didn't know, I'm just going to make some color here. I'll say red, purple, orange. What other colors do you have? I think lime green's color in Turtle. I'm gonna put that in there. So I'll say light blue. I believe that's a color. What I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay, cool. So let's just say green, dark green, and then yellow. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, is that 7? I have 6 colors. Let's take a green. Okay, so it's 6 color. Now I want to repeat a task, remembering the basic of Python. How can we repeat something? So a loop, I can say for I in range, and I want to repeat this 6 times, right? So that's how many sides are on a hexagon, so 6 times. I'm gonna take my object, my pencil. I want to change the color of my pencil. I want it to be on of my color in my list. Okay, specifically I want it to start with red, and then uh, it will go to purple and work its way through the list. Okay, to do this, I'm gonna take my list colors, and I need give it an index, a position. I'm gonna say I. So I is the first index, the first time this loop runs, right? The next time this loop run, I will be the second element. Okay, change my color. Let's just take the let's say the width of our pencil. Let's just put that a 5. My pencil can now move forward. How far? Let's say 100 pixel. Okay, then our pencil can move right 90 degree. All right, remember the last line of code I'm gonna put here is done, and this will ensure that the drawing stays on the screen at the end. Great, let's run our code. Right, so yeah, so I'm gonna hit up there, run the code, terminal appears, I should see a window, and there we go. The window is quite big, right? And I'm seeing an issue that's drawing a square. I don't want that. Who caught on? Why is that drawing a square? Let's go back to my code. Because I put 90 degree, that's for a square. I should be putting 60, 60, 60, and that's equal to 360. Okay, that's the total number of degrees in a circle. Let's try that again. Boom, there you go. Boom, there you go. There's our hexagon. You can see that my turtle graph screen is VS Code is quite large. That's okay. You are able to see what I'm drawing. Yours is gonna be large too. Yours is gonna be large too. So we have a hexagon, different color sides with a width of 5 and one object. Pretty cool.